Hi, hello, and happy Thursday. It's Angie coming to you again live from southeastern Washington. Got this great filter on my phone. It was coming in and coming out of this filter earlier, so let me see if I can step away. I don't know, it wants to follow me. Anyway, I am going live on my personal side today. Sometimes I go live on my business side, and if you're not aware, I do have a business. It's called Avea Financial Planning, and I'm a financial planner. I work with people to help them make smart financial decisions, especially women, so that they can earn more money, keep more money, save and invest more money so they can live the life they want. So happy Halloween week. Oh, there we go. It's kicking on and off. There's my little bat head band, I guess. So anyway, too much fun with Facebook filters. So thanks again for jumping on. I invite you to check out my business Facebook page. Again, it's Avea Financial Planning, and I go live there as well. So most of the time I'm going live on my business side Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays 11:35, Thursdays 12:35. But I have more friends than I have business followers. So I thought I'd come live on my personal side today. So excited to have you here with me. I have a few things to kind of go into a little bit. We're going to keep it light though. I should have had my Halloween music going like I did on Tuesday. That was some fun stuff. But started the day off today with yoga. Still got my yoga clothes on. And man, that's awesome. Good stretching, strength building, vinyasas, things like that. And she wrapped up, we always kind of wrap up by just having a relaxing moment or two, and she talked about how this week might be stressful for many people. It could be one of the most interesting weeks that we've had in a long time with the election and so on. So I'm not sure where you're coming from. I don't necessarily feel extra stressed because of what's going on. I take the frame of mind that me, my life, my family, we are super blessed, and we have the good fortune of probably being, one of the most lucky people in the world, and we have really nothing to complain about. So that's the mindset I am coming from. I don't really care what happens in the election. I think everything always works out for the best for all of us at any given time. So I'm feeling okay with what's going to transpire over the next few weeks. I hope you do too. I talked on Tuesday about retirement can be scary. There's a lot of fear involved with kind of this transition from working life to our retired life. And I talked about a few things that were common fears, especially that fear of running out of money or not having enough money to retire on or to have a long retirement, and fear of the markets and fear of volatility and things like that, or market crash. So I wanted to go on with that theme today, and in the theme of Halloween as well. I hope this isn't too distracting. I'm looking at myself going, oh my goodness, this is crazy, crazy town. And if you go to my website, aveafp.com, and the F stands for financial, P for planning, so Avea, AVEAFP.com, there's a big pinkish button right at the top. And if you put in your information there, you will get a download that is basically a self-help course to walk you through some of the things to build courage, risks, fear of making mistakes, and how to overcome that. And so that's just something, that really applies to so many different areas of our lives, not just our financial life. We all carry different money fears as well. But, I encourage you to visit my site, the big pink button right at the top, and download that self-help course. If you are finding that you have some fears, you need some support in being courageous and this fear of overcoming mistakes. So I encourage you to do that. Take a look at that. Feel free to reach out to me if there's anything I can help you with in that department as well. And, we can all do a little bit of growing in our personal side in overcoming those kind of obstacles. So, yes, another thing, I am looking for feedback from friends, family, clients, whomever. I have had a podcast all this year, all these last 2.5 years or so. Got, 30, 40 different episodes, and I'm looking at rebranding, at kind of shifting the focus. Hi, Jill. Thanks for coming on. I hope this isn't too distracting. Having a little fun with the filters today. But I'm looking at rebranding and talking more specifically to women and the issues that women face, both in their careers, in managing their money, in investing, in making financial decisions that impact themselves, their spouses, their families. And so I'd be curious to know more. What kinds of things would interest you? What kind of topics? What kind of things do you struggle with? What would you like to hear us talk about? Because typically my program is more of an interview program, so I have guests on and we talk about the topic at hand, and it's more of an interview style. So I'm looking at doing that, but I'm also looking at perhaps doing just some where I speak on a particular topic that might be of interest to people, answering questions, things like that. So I'd be curious your feedback. If there's any topics in particular that you think would be of value to women who are nearing retirement or already in retirement, especially those who might be widowed or divorced. What kind of specific issues do you face? What kind of concerns do you have? What kind of help do you want? What kind of support do you need? That's the kind of questions I'm looking for. So feel free to comment here on Facebook, direct message me, or send me an email. My contact information, again, is always on my website, aveafp.com. Some time ago, actually it was midsummer, I talked about 8 or 9, I think it was 8 money fears that women tend to have. And I was looking back at my past Facebook Lives. And so starting back in late June, early July, I talked about these different things like the fear of investing, becoming an old maid and not being able to support oneself, imposter syndrome, the good girl syndrome, being out of the market, out of the job market, and not having an income. This fear of being perfect and having to always, wear all these different hats and be perfect at all of these different things. So these were some of the fears that I talked about. And the biggest one was really this fear of failing, fear of failure. And in fact, this week's Toastmasters topic or theme was start where you are. And I love that because I've had to tell myself that same thing over and over and over and over again, because honestly, we're never perfect and we're never going to be exactly where we want to be or where we think we should be. So instead of waiting to get there, we start where we are. And that is overcoming fear, and that is overcoming this need to be perfect in everything that we do. So having a little fun, with the filters and stuff, talking about topics that are of importance to, they're important to me. I hope they're important to you. Things that we can do to both improve the lives of ourselves, our own lives, and the lives of people that we impact, our children, spouses, and our community. So again, I'm looking for feedback on those kinds of topics. I've talked a little bit about the fears that women have, and planning to at one time in the future stop working or glide path into retirement, or again, however you describe that for yourself, however you see that going for yourself. Everybody's got a little bit of a different take on what that's going to look like for them. And I have my own opinion of what I'm going to do. So overcoming those fears and those self-limiting beliefs are definitely topics that are of interest to me. I love talking about them with people, and where I can kind of contribute and help you overcome those same obstacles is what I would be hoping to achieve. So, all right. Yeah, so Tuesday I was talking a little bit about some of these fears as we progress into retirement or thinking about retirement, and I didn't get to talk about the last couple that I was hoping to talk about, but one is this, disconnection with our work life. And so for so many of us, our work life is really the core of our day and the core of our being and the core of our existence. And once that work life is done, we do seem to have this problem with finding something to replace that and be connected and to feel of value and so on. And that can be a big fear as to why we don't want to actually retire, or we have some anxiety around pulling the trigger and retiring. And so I would say that, again, trying to build up hobbies or interests or groups of people that would be outside of that normal work life would be something to consider for sure. I was just talking to a client the other day, and she mentioned that her parents they had a store and they sold the store. And once they did that, they actually didn't have anything to do during the day. And they ended up she was kind of, upset with this, but they ended up spending a lot of time watching TV. And so that didn't work out very well for them. And so, trying to get people to cultivate that next best thing. What is it that we're retiring to is such an important conversation to have with yourself, with your spouse, and maybe your kids, your friends and your co-workers, to help explore great ideas of what you can be doing after you start to retire. So that's one thing. And then this last one really, I think, also applies to women. It goes back to those 8 money fears that I was talking about this summer, is this fear of being destitute. And it might be an irrational fear, but it is still definitely something that many of us hold, is that we're just, there's so much unknown going into retirement, going into this later stage of life. What's going to happen in the world? What's going to happen in the markets? What's going to happen with my money? Somehow I might not feel secure in some of those things. And so I feel like there's this possibility that I might end up destitute, and even to the point of being homeless. And this apparently is a real fear. It kind of keeps coming up in the media that they do these research studies and these reports that even people who have significant wealth still feel like they're at risk for becoming destitute. And, I got to say that working with someone like me, working with a financial advisor, could really help in overcoming that kind of fear, rational or irrational, however that may be, because we develop a plan. And it is my express goal to help my clients feel that no matter what happens in the world around them, that they will be 100% certain in their plan and that they will be okay. And so, if you work with somebody, you should be getting that same kind of a plan in place. If you're not working with somebody, you should develop that kind of a plan for yourself. And that goes back to October being Financial Planning Month. And we talked about the process of planning and doing that with an advisor or doing that for yourself, however it works out best for you. That accountability by working with someone might be what you need, but if you're disciplined and able to do these things on your own, you just do it, right? So you'll still benefit from the planning process, whether you do it on your own or with someone else. So I think that's really facing your fear, naming your fear, making a plan around that fear so that you can put that fear to bed and feel okay with your decisions is really the way I think that you can come to have a understanding and a belief that everything is going to be okay no matter what, and having that flexibility to adjust over time as well. Building in that ability to be flexible and to know that, life is fluid. We make decisions gets changed, life changes, we make a different decision. So, again, coming out on the other side of a decision and knowing that you're going to be okay, I think is really, really important to overcoming these fears of feeling destitute. So, All right, that's kind of what I had on the agenda for today. Love to hear feedback from you, so feel free to pop any comments into the Facebook here, or feel free to reach out privately through direct message or on my website by email or text message as well. So thank you, everyone. Happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed the filter. Love it. It's fun, fun, fun. And until Tuesday, I don't know what November brings for talking about on Facebook. We'll see. But again, feedback on topics for the podcast would be great. Feel free to visit my website, hit that big pink button, and download that self-help course to overcome obstacles and challenges in your life. And reach out anytime if there's anything I can help you with. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye.